All right, here we go. Time for a little, whatever we're going to call this on Sunday, a little Facebook Live, a little Sunday wisdom seeking. It's a perfect day for a Facebook Live in Franklin, Tennessee, because it's pouring cats and dogs. It's going to turn to snow later on this evening. What's up, Alan? Good to see you. We'll give a few minutes for people to jump on here. AD, I'll call you back as soon as this is over. We were just getting ready to go live, getting our notes and stuff squared away. Tracy, great to see you. Timothea, great to see you. Alan, are you getting snow up in Nebraska? Alan Delaney, that is. I think Alan Gallagher, I think you're in Florida, right? You're probably not getting snow.
Happy birthday, JP.
Yes, JP Richardson, happy birthday up in Iowa.
And anybody else that we don't know about, if it's your birthday, happy birthday.
JP, I think, turned 30 again today. Yes or no? What does Alan say? Yes. Getting some snow. Hey, Dawn, good to see you. I think you're going to get some snow too, Dawn, if you're not already. Christina, great to see you. Happy Sunday, everybody. What's everybody up to on a Sunday afternoon? We'll give it a few minutes for people to get on. We didn't promote this in advance. That's why Jolene's looking straight down at the beginning of these videos, because she's sharing the video out. So you guys hit the share button. Zemi, what's going on with you? We need to catch up. We'll call you, Zemi, after this and see what's shaking with you guys. Randy, good to see you, man.
That was already on my list.
Oh, okay. Zemi, you were already on J.Dok's list. Look at that. Hey, Keith. Good to see you. Hopefully you're not out on the roadways. Let's see. What is Tracy saying? I got to lean a little closer. Just got back from Laughlin. Okay. Was it nice in Laughlin? Hey, what's up, Ted? Yep, snow for the docks in Tennessee. We're excited about that, actually. Billy, what's up, buddy? Good to see you on here. Happy Sunday. Bobby B, what is going on, Bobby B? Going Black Diamond, Bobby B.
Okay. Ready?
All right, yes. Howdy, Pilgrims. Nice, Billy. I like it. A little early for Easter talk, but Pilgrims nonetheless.
Easter talk?
Yeah,
I guess a pilgrimage.
That's usually when people think of pilgrims is during Easter.
No, they think of pilgrims during Thanksgiving.
That's what I meant. Did I say Easter? I meant Thanksgiving. Anyway, we're not thinking about holidays. We're thinking about building our business, actually, which is a good thing.
Just saying.
I think I said Easter because at church it's all about Easter right now. All the churches are promoting their Easter services big time. Greg, what is going on? Good to see you on here. It's funny how the mind can go faster than the mouth, and the mouth can go faster than the mind sometimes. Good fun. Yes, happy birthday, JP. I like that, Alan. We are wishing JP a happy birthday.
All right. Let us get going.
All right. So, anybody want to take some guesses like we love to do? Who saw the title and wants to weigh in on, take a guess at what you think one or more of the three most underutilized secrets for building your business are? Let's wait for some comments here over the next maybe 30 seconds to 60 seconds. And we'll
Zemi,
see.
to answer your question, if you got a private message from me with this attached to it, there's a little tiny box with an arrow at the top of it over to the side, to the right of the video. You can hit that button and you can share it from there. Or you can simply go over to R.Dok and J.Dok and hit the share button and tag your people.
So, let's see. Can you see the comments or no?
I'm going to do that
I want
now.
to see if anybody's guessing what...
Numbers game.
Yep, that's one of them, Bobby. We'll give you credit for that. That's one of them. We'll talk about that a little bit. We'll get a little more
Tapping
specific.
into your upline, Timothea.
All right, Timothea hit another one.
Ding.
So let's see if we can collectively find the third
Connect
one.
calls and leverage. Zemi's a winner too.
Boom. All right, so sort of. We're kind of missing a key. Right, but somebody hasn't
we didn't have the second word.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll give it another 30 seconds and see if anybody can get it. What are the three secrets?
Say less to more people. That falls in the numbers game.
Yep.
Definitely. We'll test on that.
Moving to Nashville.
No. I love it, Bobby.
That's not one of the secrets, Bobby. We went diamond twice in California, so there's hope for you, buddy. There is hope for you. Diamond in 2 separate companies in California, and one of those times, the first time we went diamond, was not only in California, but there was already 7 black diamonds before we ever signed up. So
in a 40-mile radius.
In a 40-mile radius. So you talk about a saturated market, but that's a hint right there, right? That one kind of feeds into the kind of the massive action part. So why don't we...
Jeremy says duplication.
There you go. Systematic duplication, right? So we're going to get into those. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk a little bit about massive action. We're going to talk a little bit about, I think this one's kind of more a mistake, but it's also an underutilized secret of being the message instead of being just the messenger. And, well, we're going to do these actually in the sequence in which they make sense. Okay, so first we're going to talk about being the message and instead of what you should be doing, just being the messenger. And then we'll talk about the numbers game part of it, the massive action. Then we'll talk about plugging people into the system because they kind of go in sequence. But those are probably the 3 things that if people did more of them, their businesses would grow faster. And a lot of this...
and they did them boldly. Not only if
Yes.
they did them more frequently, but if they did them more boldly and more confidently.
Right. Sorry, needed some V3. Anyway, so a lot of this is going to come from, I love Bobby Barajas is so thirsty for knowledge, and Bobby is on his way to Black Diamond and beyond because he's relentless. And he's not only relentless in terms of doing the activities and being implementing what he's taught, right? Like he's a real apprentice, if you will. He is literally embracing what he's taught and he's taking action.
And if he doesn't understand something, he keeps circling back until he does understand it.
But he put something in a context that helped us realize, because Bobby doesn't, like we talk about frequently, the Bible says a wise man has many counselors, and so Bobby doesn't just plug into R.Dok and J.Dok, he plugs into his entire leverage line, right? There are people in between us and Bobby that are still in his upline that have a vested financial interest in him that also have built diamond ships. And so Bobby's taking full advantage of that. Partners that probably doesn't realize we're on Facebook. Anyway, so let's start. So here's the question that Bobby asked that helps maybe us put this into a little bit different context. And what he said was, hey, rewind back to when you guys first got started in network marketing, when you very first began your journey, and what are the things that you did? And again, he didn't. The cool thing is this, actually, and Bobby would tell you this. Maybe we'll bring him on here, actually. But he didn't just reach out and ask us this question. He also asked Mike McCleary. He also asked Kenny Kuhnhofer. I don't know if he asked Josh Miller or not. He probably did. But the cool thing is, none of us realized it. I think, I know he had already talked to both Mike and Kenny before he talked to us, and he got the same answer from all 3 of us. And I love that, because it just goes to show you, folks, it's funny, we called this secrets, but there's not really secrets, okay? But here's something that we all 3 gave him the same answer, and he, again, remember, he said rewind back to when you were new.
He did ask Josh. When
you were just getting started. Perfect. And I'm sure Josh said the same thing, actually. I guarantee you. Because I know we all did the same thing. Folks, when all of us went diamond in Dallin's former company, we were all fighting the same uphill battles, right? We didn't have great timing. We all got there together at the same time. We were brand partners, roughly 1.2 million. Kenny might have been 1.199 million, right? He was like 1.1999 million. But we all basically signed up right in that 1.2 million mark, okay? And here's the cool thing, right? We didn't have timing really in our favor. But what we did have in our favor, we leveraged the heck out of, and it's what all of you have in your favor right now. Here's what we did. We simply kept it simple, and we utilized the heck out of edification, folks. This is how it went, okay? We reached out to everyone in our sphere of influences rapidly, and we'll talk about that next. And we said, listen, don't know if your antenna's up, don't know if you're open to looking at something that could be an epic opportunity. However, we are, because at that time, obviously, real estate was squeezing a lot of people, not just us. You didn't have to be in real estate necessarily. There's a bunch of ancillary businesses. I mean, real estate impacted most people's livelihood in some way, shape, or form. And so we basically said, look, we were open to looking at an additional stream of income. Don't know if you are or not, but here's what's phenomenal. We were recently introduced to a group of people that plugged themselves into an opportunity on the side where they got to team up with one of the most phenomenal entrepreneurs ever, and they're crushing it. And they're helping people crush it from a part-time on-the-side gig. Would you have any interest in learning about this group of people that we're now teaming up with? Folks, that was it. That was it. Bobby said, what did you guys do? What did you all do that you had in common? What did you all do that allowed you to go diamond the first time?
And guys, understand, when we got started doing this, I was not a happy camper because everything that I had signed up for was falling to pieces. I had signed up to be an at-home mom, and my hubby was going to be the hero, and he was going to take care of me, and he was going to be the knight in shining armor, and through no fault of his own, our circumstances completely changed. And I had a choice at that moment in time. And some of you guys know this or have heard me say it before. I had a choice to lock arms with him and fix our situation, or I had the choice to throw a massive temper tantrum. Now, I always teach and train from the perspective, because this is how I live and how I run my portion of our business, right? Everything that I do is being watched and witnessed by my daughters. And for me, my job as a mom is to raise up Proverbs 31 women. And if I would have stood there and thrown a temper tantrum and thrown a fit and stomped my feet because my man wasn't doing what he said he was going to do, even though it was out of his circumstances, that's what they would do later on in life. And I don't want that for them. I want them to be women of integrity. I want them to be equally yoked with their husbands. So in order for my children to duplicate being equally yoked, I locked arms with him, and we decided to get busy and run together.
So Rob just put a comment in here, which again is powerful, and it's true, right? And I'm going to expand on this a little bit because it's going to help a lot of you. And if you're in the greater Nashville area, I'm going to give you the invitation to do what we used to do. You can now do this with R.Dok and J.Dok, but you don't need it to do it this way. You can do it's faster on the phone, quite frankly. And we generally did it on the phone first. But folks, it was all about edification. Everybody wants to play for the winning team. And this kind of blends in with what we already said, right? Too many people are out there being the entire message instead of just being the messenger. And so when you do that, you're making it about you. You're not edifying. You're not using the system. You're probably not really giving credence to the 5-star opportunity, because until you start to build an organization, quite frankly, the repetitions, you will get polished from the repetitions, right? You guys have heard me joke about this a bunch of times on stage, right? Including in Orlando. I literally put so many people in front of Rob, whether it was on 3-way calls or literally putting them in my car and driving them to his house.
Which was 40 miles away.
This is not a joke, folks. It got to the point where I could lip sync his presentation. And that's one of the benefits of this business. If you're not taking full advantage of the fact that you can literally earn while you learn. And the best form of learning is what I call situational learning, right? These lives we do are great. Plugging into the calls are great. The videos are great, but you will learn more when it's like live ammo, right? When you get an actual prospect in front of the presentation, you're 10 times more tuned in because now there's something on the line, right? And you're getting the best of your leverage line. You're getting to hear your support team bring their very best on your behalf. And so you're really tuned in. But that's not a joke. I don't say that to get people to chuckle. It is kind of funny, but I say it because it's actually true. You want to become an expert at this business, which we did. We wanted it really, really bad. We knew we were going diamond when we first plugged in 11 years ago. We knew we were going diamond. We had no doubt because that's all we were willing to aim for.
And we are of the understanding and of the belief system that if somebody else can do it, then so can we. All we have to do is paint by the numbers and be a really good copycat.
So she just said it, and that's what I was about to say. So in that idea that we knew we were going diamond, we put people in front of the diamond, right? We wanted to watch and learn and be able to emulate the diamond behaviors because we knew that's how we would go diamond, right? And so don't underestimate the value. I think the most significant thing any of you watching could do to grow your business, we have to grow to the scale of whatever leadership role our business is going to require, right? Somebody type that in.
We set the pace of our teams.
Right.
You have to own that. You have to embrace it. You have to own you yourself are the team captain, and you will set the pace of your team.
So you're going to become a diamond before you achieve the rank of diamond, right? You're going to become a gold before you achieve the rank of gold. And that's going to be by virtue of your behaviors, your habits, your activities, your consistency, your willingness to harness the system, your discipline, all of these things. Folks, this is real live entrepreneurship, right? And so on one hand, we always say the power is in the simplicity, and that is absolutely true, but this is not Disneyland, okay? This is not a fairy tale. If you want life-changing outcomes, you're going to have to be willing to undergo life-changing development, right? You're going to have to learn. If you haven't been an entrepreneur, you're going to have to be willing to submit to and embrace the process of becoming an entrepreneur, learning some entrepreneurial skills, learning time management, learning discipline. You're going to need
learning
to grow.
Focus.
Yes. Focus.
Learning the power of focus.
So that's probably the first of these secrets, right? It comes back down to edification. Everybody wants to play for the winning team. What I got really, really, really good at was getting people curious. Who are these people you're talking about? Who's this guy Rob? Who's this guy Dallin? Who's this guy Kenny? Who's this guy Josh? Who's this guy Mike? We got really good at getting people curious about, more than any other thing, our team. Folks, our team, not about the products. The products will speak for themselves. Not about the comp plan. People don't care about numbers. Numbers go over most people's head, right? They
care when they start getting a check every Friday.
Right.
Then they get super excited and they want to tell everybody about more of their friends that are helping them get that check on Friday.
Everybody type this into the comments. Facts and figures tell, but stories sell. The story that sells the best is the one that makes people curious, that makes people intrigued to meet this person, this amazing person. You get really good at edifying, and you will be blown away how much more effective your prospecting will become, because everybody wants to meet the guy, right? If your dream was to play quarterback in the NFL and somebody could introduce you to Bill Belichick or John Gruden, game over. It doesn't matter. They're not going to talk to you about X's and O's and the playbook and the system and the linemen and the this and the that. No. It's done. If your dream was to play quarterback in the NFL and somebody goes, man, I can't believe this, but I'm actually teamed up with John Gruden. I'm actually teamed up with Bill Belichick. Remember, people are what is relatable to other people, folks. And so,
and in the end at that dash, the only thing that is ever going to matter is the relationships that you have and the relationships that you cultivate. Stay focused on serving from the genuine heart. It was interesting. Our service today, we're shopping for a church out here, and the message was really great. You know, serving without ever looking for something in return is part of that process.
So, and Rob had typed this in, actually, I think last time we had gone live, and again, it couldn't be more true, folks. You're going to borrow the credibility from your leverage line until you have your own. And so when you choose to be the message instead of the messenger, people are now measuring the opportunity relative to how they see you, and a lot of times that limits our results. Praise God that we were willing to submit to this process, because nobody was going to see me as a black diamond, but I wanted them to see a black diamond level opportunity, because you know how you win big in this business? Recruit people better than you. You know how you recruit people better than you? You give them the ability to see an opportunity bigger than you. You know how you give them the ability to see an opportunity bigger than you? You get them plugged into your upline, right? It's simple,
and
folks.
You get them to the events once they've done the first step of seeing your upline, seeing it's real, seeing it's possible. Then they will happily and willingly get to the events to see the even bigger picture, to see that they can have it too.
So that's the first secret that is so underutilized, okay? It's edification and allowing your leverage line to help you be the depiction of a real 5-star opportunity, because that's another like subnote. It's not another one of the major ones, but folks, this is what's so imperative. We talk about 5-star for so many reasons, but one of the most important ones is simply this. Recognize that you're probably not hardly ever, it's going to be extremely rare when you're the first person introducing the concept of a home-based business network marketing MLM to your prospect. They've heard it before. They've been invited before. Here's the downfall to selling short the entire picture. Folks, not all opportunities are created equal, but when we don't leverage the system, like Jolene said, when we don't use the action plan that's been laid out before us that gives you the ability to take full advantage of this team and of this platform, people are not going to be seeing a 5-star opportunity. They're going to be seeing in their own mind the same thing they think they've seen before. But not all opportunities are created equal, which is another reason why the results get better when you leverage your leverage line, leverage your upline. It doesn't mean they have to be a diamond, but again, to use another phrase that Rob has used in the past a lot, we got fastball pitchers on this team. It's not necessarily about rank, but you've got amazing presenters. You've got people like an Alan Delaney who can present this from top to bottom phenomenally. You got people, quite frankly, like a Bobby Barras, who's an incredible communicator, folks, who's got a ton of charisma, who understands this opportunity now forwards and backwards. You've got
Myra Beard, who has tons of experience. You've got the Adelmans. You've got, the list is countless, and we have new and upcoming talent that this is their first rodeo, but because they have done such a great job at learning, at deciding that they want this to, in the end, be their profession, that they are now operating at a professional level. They are just waiting for the points to catch up.
So the upside to this other kind of the part B to really utilizing the 3-way calls is kind of what we're talking about here, is edification, not being the message, but being the messenger, and utilizing the 3-way calls. That ensures that your prospect's going to get to hear a full 5-star opportunity. It can be done in 30 seconds. It can be done in 30 minutes. If you've done Connect calls with me, one of the things I try to do is I spend the first few minutes kind of getting some rapport going with your candidate. And then before I dive in, I go, hey, how much time did you allow for this call? And if they say 15 minutes, I'm going to give them a 15-minute 5-star. If they say 5 minutes, I'm going to give them a 5-minute 5-star, right? But they're going to get a 5-star. And they're going to be left with one thing that is undeniable. They're going to be left with an understanding that not all opportunities are created equally. And just because someone in the past may have invited them to look, listen, and hear about a home-based business, a network marketing, an MLM opportunity, that it was not this. It was not Vasayo. It was not with your, it wasn't what we've got right now. Again, the 5-star aspects with this kind of timing, with our delivery technology, etc. I'm not going to get into all that right now. But folks, it is so important that you embrace and stand proud, quite frankly. Don't allow yourself to get sucked into cutting corners that diminish the opportunity. You want to stand tall and proud and recognize that we're in one of the greatest industries in the world, but we stand head and shoulders above anything this industry's ever seen because of our 5-star opportunity.
And this is where, when you become educated, truly educated on this industry and the power of the fact that you can build a substantial, life-changing income in the nooks and crannies of your life, when you know that and you embrace that and you harness that passion, it won't matter what anyone says to you that might be a negative curveball that's flying at your head out of nowhere, because you will be able to truly walk in the belief that if somebody else has done it, it can be done by me, because you know the power of this industry and you believe it.
So the next of these 3 secrets, and again, these aren't secrets, right? We say that just kind of for fun, but folks, the next of these secrets is that you at some point you have to take massive action. The 2, 2, and 2s are your bare bones minimum. Understand that, and that is your point of reference, that you're just even like in business at all, right? But if you're trying to grow a business, you've got to get the business off the ground. Again, I just love what Dallin says. I'm going to just continue to steal what Dallin Larson says. You think after 30 years and 2 companies already to over $1 billion, he's probably figured a few things out, right? Created over 300 millionaires in his former company or something like that, a bunch, right? Dallin understands some things, right, about this industry. Folks, he says it all the time like this. You're not going to get a jet off the runway at 10% throttle or 20% throttle. There's not a plane. From what I understand, talking to pilots, Michael Martin, if you're on here.
You'll get the wheels rolling. That's about it.
Yeah. So Michael Martin, if you're on here, please correct me if I'm wrong. But from what I've heard, I should have paid more attention when you flew me, Mike. I didn't watch your hand to see if the throttle went all the way down. But from what I've heard, the only way a pilot will get a plane airborne is full throttle until the plane is airborne, full throttle. Folks, so going back to the way Bobby asked the question, what did you do when you were brand new? The first thing we did, we put a lot of people in front of the message without us trying to be the message, okay? We were just simply really good messengers, and mostly that message came from a 3-way call or a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-1 or a 4-on-1. We took a lot of people to Rob's house. We put a lot of people on the phone with Rob. That was kind of the first step. We didn't try to do a lot as the first step. That was our first step, okay? Sometimes we shared product if we recognized that those people were good candidates to try the product, just like you should be doing here in Vasayo. But we did not ever want to put ourselves in position where we were forced to be the message, okay? But here's the other thing we didn't do. We didn't just talk to 1 or 2 people, folks. Bobby goes, so tell me about your progression in Dallin's former company. After there was already 1.2 million people that got there before you, right? Like after the market was already relatively saturated, right? Here's what it looked like, folks. We went silver in our second week. We went gold in our 8th week. So it took 5.5 weeks more after we went silver to get to gold. So we went gold in our 8th week. How do you think that was possible? It's called massive action. Folks, we had a why that was probably more to avoid catastrophe than it was something flowery and ooh, the dream home. And we were just trying to survive at that point, okay? But sometimes, as the saying goes, your greatest blessings are found in the midst of your greatest adversity. The adversity didn't give us the luxury of tiptoeing with this, of dipping a toe in, of calling one person and I'll see what they say, and if they like it, I'll call the second person. It didn't go like that, folks. Literally, I think.
And we understand entrepreneurship because we've already been business owners before. The idea that any kind of business does not require this level of action is absurd. Please, please, please understand, it would not matter what kind of business that you are in. Right. If you are launching a business, if you were going to have a ribbon cutting at a brick and mortar business, you were going to open your doors, you would call all the friends that you know, all the friends that you have, and say, you know what? I'm so excited. I finally have all of my equipment in my new store. Please, please, please come to my ribbon cutting event because I'd really like to have a great showing for my ribbon cutting event. Too many times in this industry, people say, I'll try it. They don't properly launch their business. Have you gotten with your upline and said, how do we properly launch my business? And they're going to tell you, it's going to take massive action quickly. We're going to get you on a call with several of your people at the same time. We're going to launch you like a rocket ship.
So folks, I call it a Mac attack, massive action quickly. To answer again, we're kind of just doing a replay today on the call that we did with Bobby, or that I did with Bobby a little earlier in the week, because I just think it's going to be so powerful for everybody. The way he changed the question that was being asked gave me kind of an aha that we could maybe bless some people by changing the way we're sharing the answers that came from Bobby's questions. But Mac attack, massive action quickly, folks. Again, you've got to make that push, like Jolene said. I mean, I'm kind of belaboring the point, but the bottom line is, here's what we were taught 11 years ago. You can solve every single problem in a network marketing business by sponsoring more people, right? And so
all of them. Every solution. That's the answer to every single problem.
So if anybody is not where they want to be at this point in their network marketing business, here's what the answer is, right? It starts with one person, you. And here's what you do. You go sponsor more people. You take more action, right? We're not where we want to be. We refuse to settle for anything less than Black Diamond by the end of this year. How are we going to get there? By going and doing what we've already done once. Build another diamond ship from scratch. What are you about to witness R.Dok and J.Dok do? We're going to build another diamond ship from scratch. We're already on it, actually. We've been taking massive action for the last 4 days. If I were to pan the camera, you'd see our house is still pandemonium. There's boxes all around me right now. There's stuff everywhere. But at some point, you got to keep the main thing the main thing. The main thing right now is we will not let this timing with Dallin Larson and Vasayo slip through our fingers.
We're boxes will eventually get unpacked.
That's right.
They don't matter.
That's right. Are you going to build a business if, or are you going to build your business until, right? Are you going to grind hard if? Are you going to give it your all if? Or are you going to give it your all until? Folks, we're giving it our all until we start producing diamonds. Not until we get to a certain rank, until we start producing diamonds. We're going to give it our all until, not if. Have you been giving it your all if you get a certain outcome on a certain week, to a certain call, to a certain level of activity? Or are you going to give it your all until the thing that God put on your heart that led you to say yes to this business in the first place comes to fruition?
You need to understand what motivates Ryan and I. It's not where we end up. It's the luxury of having the ability to choose any spot on the map and stick a pin dot in it and say, that's where we want to go. We want all of you to have that luxury. That is freedom. That is freedom from all other things in life. You get time freedom, geographic freedom, and financial freedom. And what drives Ryan and I is helping other people realize you can have that too if you decide. Decide that you're going to do it and do it until.
That's right. Absolutely. You know, it's you got to ask yourself this question, folks. If you're really serious, whatever your goal is in Vasayo, ask yourself this question, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it to you, and what are you willing to give up to get it? You got to give something up to get something, right? I mean, that's just kind of how life works. Bottom line, if you continue to do what you've always done, you're going to continue to get what you've already got. Right? Somebody can type that in if you want to. If you continue to do what you've always done, you're going to continue to get what you've always got. Simple. Right? And so, you know, like Dr. Tony was telling me in a recent conversation that now one of his passions, folks, like at a really high level, one of his biggest passions is mountain bike riding. He goes about 1/7 of the time that he used to, or 1/6, because I think he used to ride almost every day. Now he maybe rides once a week. Why? Because he's passionate about building. That's right. Him and Cheryl have decided that they're going Black Diamond and they want to help the people on their team. What sacrifices are you making to make more room in your schedule to do what it actually takes to build your Vasayo business? Right? Yes, you can build this in the nooks and crannies of your day. That part is true. Unless you're not actually having enough nooks and crannies to get you to the outcomes you need, right? If the nooks and crannies are only allowing you to talk to 2 or 3 people in an entire week, folks, that ain't gonna work. Now you gotta change some things.
And let's really identify what you're doing in those nooks and crannies. This is where when I said you have to have the power of focus, when we say you can build this in your nooks and crannies, that means that you are purposely talking to people, not scrolling on Facebook, not looking in your back office to see if any magic has happened with the people who maybe signed up and then quit. Did they reactivate? None of those things are income producing activity that will launch you to that next level. The only thing that will take you from the level that you're at to the very next level is prospecting, 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 getting your prospects on the phone with your leverage line, getting your prospects fully understanding the power of this industry because you have shown them where to find the tools to educate themselves. It's not dragging an anchor behind you saying, come on, you can do it. If you've gone to your people that you've already sponsored and 3 times and they're not plugging into the system, they're not calling you, they're not ready. Love on them, send them the text messages on where to find the information, but get focused back on that hardcore finding the next person who's going to run at the pace that you're setting because you, again, set the pace of your team.
So we'll move on to the third secret and we'll wrap this up because I got to get back to my prospecting, folks. No joke. I'm trying to put in another 40 between now and the end of June. That's the goal. Another 40 at the halfway mark of this year. Another 40 personals in. So I got a lot of prospecting to do, okay? So the first one, right? Be the messenger, not necessarily the message. Everybody please type that in. I'm going to be the messenger, not the message. More specifically, we're saying take more advantage of your leverage line. Do more three-way calls to get really good at getting three-way calls set up. Get really good at edifying, okay? That was the first secret. The second one was massive action. I don't care how long you've been in Vasayo. I don't care where you're at with your Vasayo business. Go on another Mac attack right now. That's what we are
We do that
doing.
every 90 days, guys.
We're on another massive action, quickly attack as if we're brand new, right? I'm talking to Bobby Barajas every single day, and I told him I'll start over like I'm brand new with you, and we'll run together, right? Find a running mate, set some goals, set an accountability level that you're willing to be committed at, and then run, right? And run hard, and run at a level that's going to line up with what the outcome is that you're pursuing, that you desire. If you need help with that, reach out to us. We'll help you align your activity level with the outcome that you're aiming for, okay? So that was the second one, is if you want to go on a 90-day run, if you want to hit the reset button, if you want to get on a gold cruise this year, if you want to be a blue sapphire and get to go to have dinner at Dallin and Carrie's house during the, right before the March to a Million event kicks off, if you want to get to do those things, let's set the goals now, but we're going to have to take some massive action, right? Let's take massive action for a season, okay? If you'll do for a season what seemed like it wasn't possible, you'll get to live a life for the rest of your life of what other people think is impossible, okay? It's really cool. It's worth it, I'm telling you. And so that was the second one. The third one is just the system itself, folks. You get your leverage through the system, okay? So when you do enroll somebody, here's where you become a sponsor. Here's where you graduate from being an enroller to a sponsor. You get them plugged into the system, okay? You make sure they understand all the content on hbfaststart.com, that they understand what they can plug into, the scheduled Facebook Lives and conference calls, which, by the way, if you didn't hear yesterday's Saturday call with Vincent St. Louis, you got about another 2 hours, I think, before it gets recorded over the top of. You need to get on and listen to that, man. That was phenomenal yesterday with Vincent, speaking of the system, okay? But folks, it's imperative that your new people understand the system, because that's where you get your leverage. In order to grow a huge business, you have to be leveraged through the system. Otherwise, you're right back in a transactional income scenario. If everybody's completely dependent on when they can get a hold of you, and if they can only get a hold of you, and if you're going to have to answer every single question, then you're never helping them take ownership of their own business. You're never helping them become an actual entrepreneur, and you're not leveraged, and therefore you're not going to make what seems like anywhere even remotely near enough money doing this to where it's worth it. The only way that the income will feel like it's worth the effort is when you leverage yourself through the system. And so if you want to be a phenomenal sponsor, it's the whole give a man a fish or teach a man to fish thing, right? If you put your people in a position where they think you're the it and the everything, which goes back to the first thing we talked about, by the way, you're setting that precedent right out of the gate. If you're being the entire message and not the messenger, you're setting the precedent already that you're the it person. And that's why a lot of the people tell you no, and why they won't respond to your follow-up calls, why they don't call you back, because they don't got time to be the everything. They got time to be leveraged.
And they don't want to be the everything.
They've got time to be leveraged through an incredible team. They've got time to be leveraged through an incredible system. But if what you showed them was that you're the it person, they ain't got time for that. And that's why they're hiding from you. That's why they're not responding to your follow-up. Because we got the goods. They just didn't see that when they saw you trying to be the whole show. Okay?
And if you're at a place in this is where you need to do this self-gut check. If you are the person who is calling your upline with every single question that you have, and you haven't taken the initiative to find the answers on your own, friend, we have all the answers for most people's questions, either through the Vasayo website that is all of yours. You guys all have your own Vasayo websites through the 8-step action plan, or on HB Fast Start. If you are picking up the phone before you are trying to learn on your own, that means you have not developed the skill to become an entrepreneur. So I'm going to challenge you guys. Start to develop the discipline to learn this industry. It's kind of like a mama pig, right? You know me, I teach in stories, so just kind of roll with me. We're surrounded by farms now. I love it to death. But imagine if you had a mama pig, and a mama pig can produce anywhere between like 5 to 10 to I think even 15 babies. Well, at some point, those little piglets are getting so big that they can eat on their own, and that mama is not going to let them suck on her forever. You have to start eating food. You have to start eating food. You have to know where to find your stuff, because how on earth do you ever expect to grow a team if you are still going to mama pig for everything? You haven't developed the skills to earn the right to have a team yet. If you're wondering why you don't have one, that might be the case. So take that self-gut check. Decide that you're going to spend 5 minutes a day learning what's in your back office and where to find it, learning what's on your app and where to find it, so that you are starting to learn how to be an entrepreneur and take ownership of your business.
So let's recap this real quick before we go, folks. The 3 secrets, okay? Make the commitment right now that you're going to be simply the messenger, not the message. And most importantly, you're going to do that by virtue of edifying everyone around you and telling them about this amazing team you're on, this amazing group of people you've locked arms with, this amazing community that you're part of that's going to allow you to actually pursue your dreams and help other people pursue their dreams. That's step number 1. Step number 2, do that with a lot of people. Massive action quickly. Step 3, the people that join you, plug them into the system, repeat. Okay? Edify, expose, massive action, plug into the system, repeat. Edify, expose, massive action, plug them into the system, repeat, right? Over and over and over. And if you will do these 3 simple secrets, folks, you're going Black Diamond. That is, in a nutshell, the habits that you need to take advantage of Vasayo, take advantage of the system, right? Harness the power of what you got your hands on and go win big, because you're going to help a lot of people. You're going to set an example that's completely duplicatable, folks. That's the bottom line. This boils down to what is most duplicatable, not what works. It might work for some of you to be the show, but that's not duplicatable. What works is for you to show people what will allow them to get results, okay? So what today was really all about is, what is the most duplicatable set of habits that you need to take advantage of what Vasayo has in your hands right now, so that you can equip other people to get the same results as the Black Diamonds, folks. And so that's it. Hopefully today was valuable for you. We believe in you guys. We know you can do this. We love you.
You're one relationship away from your breakthrough.
And I'm going to go find some new relationships. See you guys. Peace out. Love you.